Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Your Success at Last DNA, doing those necessary actions, getting those needed attitude adjustments. It's me, your friendly, motivational, inspirational guy, Tracy Brinkman, your CIO, Chief Inspiration Officer around these here parts at yoursuccessatlast.com. Whew! You know what's really cool? Looking out my window here right now, and there's a light dusting of snow. And for Wisconsin, a light dusting of snow is about a half inch to an inch. A little early, it's a couple of weeks earlier than usual, but it's kind of cool. New to Wisconsin up here. No, I'm not a stranger to cold weather, having spent a number of years in Germany and then some time in Minnesota, where my dad is from, and living all over the United States. So it's just kind of cool. The past few places I've been, snow has been less frequent, except for my short time in Philly, where they did get a good bit. But anyway, enough about me and my snow. How's it going? How you doing? How was your weekend? Good? Yeah? Welcome to another Monday. And what happens with Monday? Well, yeah, that's right. We talk to you about how do you feel? How do you feel? Feeling good, spry, upbeat like me? Feeling a little down? Hmm? How do you want to feel? Are you still, do you say, hey, I'm feeling good, Tracy, I'm rocking it, I'm ready to take on the world? Well, good. How are you going to keep feeling like that? Or on the other side of the coin is if you're not feeling so hot, how can you move from point A to point B, get from where you are to where you want to be? So I ask you that question on Monday because so many people go into Monday going, oh, God, it's Monday. You know, what's funny is the real thing about Monday is our perception of it. Yeah, I know you just had a couple of days off and you're maybe not looking forward to going back to work. Maybe you should rethink your work because if you're really that horribly depressed at your work, I would grab hold of the reins and change that bad boy. Yes, I would. And today's topic happens to fit right in with this. I've been doing that a lot lately, making the topics fit right in with the questions of the day. I don't know if I'm doing it consciously or if it's just happening, but it's working that way. It's my podcast. You're along for the ride. Let's go. See, here's the thing: anger. Oh. I'm usually pretty good at maintaining my demeanor. Good. Like my dad. My dad had this really long fuse. Now, mind you, here's the cool thing. My dad was a longtime veteran of the United States Army and actually spent, 23 years in the United States Army. Ended up retiring. 6'3", looked like he should have been a football player. I mean, really, I'm not big, wide guy, just a big, tall, manly man, right? And he had this fuse that went on forever. But when he got mad, you did not want to be around. It was not a pretty scene. But here's the thing: controlling anger is it's a highly worthwhile endeavor. Now, mind you, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. It will be challenging if you have spent the better part of your life just letting your anger flow free. It's going to be challenging. But the payoffs are worth the effort and the time you're going to put in to accomplish this goal. So I want to give you some tips how to get back on track to really get your anger reined in whenever it rears its ugly head. And these are pretty easy ones. There's probably a whole host of them out there on the web. You can Google and find and try them out. But these are 8 of them I want to share with you. The first one is limit yourself to I statements. See, when people start getting angry, they start throwing blame. And it's way more productive to say, I feel upset when you're late than when you say things like, "Oh, you're always late." Well, see, that's when you're throwing that anger out. And people are gonna start getting defensive, and then they're gonna say something, and that's just gonna fuel your fire, right? You don't want that. You don't, right? Just shake your head. No, really, reach up there, grab your chin, and wag it back and forth. Yeah, no, you don't want that. Okay. Next one is hold off and express your anger when you're calm. Wait a minute, I can't express my anger when I'm calm. I got to express it when I'm mad. Otherwise, it's not anger. Well, let me rephrase. Express your feelings when you're calm, because expressing your feelings at that peak of your anger really accomplishes nothing positive. So wait until you've calmed down and let others know that you're not happy. Let them know the core of what's driving it. Um, And that really just drives right into this next one here is work on solutions rather than just venting. Here's the thing. Most of the time, we just vent, right? And we just want to let everyone in the world know that we are PO'd. We are angry. We are upset. And we don't care who knows it. I've had all I can stand no more. Well, here's the thing. Why not try to put that anger aside for a minute and focus on finding a solution to the situation? Because guess what? That being productive is going to make you feel better than letting all that anger out ever will. Okay? Now, I'm not saying bottle it up. I'm saying set it aside, find a solution, and find a more productive way to let that anger out. Okay? Here's one I like. Maybe I use a little bit too much sometimes. Use a little humor. Because lifting the overall mood, the funk in the air, with some lighthearted, well placed, and unoffensive humor can really diffuse a situation and make everyone feel a little more at ease, a little more comfortable. Bring those defensive walls down a little bit so you can keep those communication lines open. Okay? Another one here. Know when, I originally wrote down the note, know when an expert is needed. I'm going to rephrase that to know when another opinion is needed because it doesn't always need to be an expert. There are times in our lives, right, when you or someone else just just can't get through it. Whether it's forgiveness or I don't know what it could any number of things. Usually forgiveness is one of the big things. And if you can't forgive, you're doomed to be miserable. And that's when a little outside, maybe professional help might be in mind. Because you know what? No one's perfect, and certainly no one's perfect all the time. All right? So let go and, and move on, right? Get past it. Start forgiving. Now I'm not saying forget, right? I'm saying learn and move on. But I alter that really as I started to say it. I alter it to get another opinion because there could be times when a trusted friend can tell you, say, no, you're being a jerk. I was there. I heard it. You're just being a dummy. And then you're saying, oh, well, okay. So um, no one another opinion is needed, and that opinion could be an expert opinion, or it could just be a good friend, a trusted advisor, whatever it might be. Here's one I've learned of late in the past, I'll say 6 or so months. Use exercise as a tool. Yeah. This is a good one. Emotional energy can really be relieved with physical energy. With physical activity. All right. So if you get active, you can literally feel your anger melt away. Now I'm not saying it's all going to go away, and this is certainly not going to solve the problem that got you mad in the first place. But it can be a tool for you to calm down and then come back up to number two where you express your anger when you're calm. Something gets you upset instead of blowing your top and raising your blood pressure and getting your face all red and watch your veins pop out in that little V in your forehead. Maybe you go for a jog, go lift some weights, or just go for a walk, right? That's tranquil and exercise at the same time. Oh, and guess what? There's a healthy benefit too. Now, the last one I want to share with you really is more of a relaxation technique, but it's all about simply breathe. A few relaxed, steady, deep breaths can really do wonders. Give yourself a 10-second break, and I'm not saying a timeout. But certainly, remember the old rule? I know in my generation, when I was a kid, don't make me count to 10. I could hear it now. Well, I always kind of wanted my mom to count to 10 because I knew by the time she reached 10, all those breaths of 1, 2, 3, right, were kind of slowing her down. Right? So take a 10-second break to think and relax before you say something that you're probably going to regret. And that really kind of loops right back up to the very start, beginning ones where you start using the I statements of what you say. Express your anger when you're calm, and then work on solutions rather than venting, right? So if you're taking a moment to breathe, you're giving your mind a moment to check in and say, oh, well, here, maybe I should try working on a solution rather than just yelling at people, right? And if the breathing hasn't gotten you there, go for a walk, get some exercise in, right? Double up on that goodness by getting some physical activity and calming down, and then come back. See, look, here's the thing. Everybody is going to get angry. I know it. You know it. It's just the way it is. But out of control anger or rage is not only not good for you, it's certainly not good for those around you. See, when you're unable to rein in your anger, you may get into, I don't know, senseless arguments, and the arguments may seem totally logical to you while you're upset. But at the end of the day, you think back and go, man, we are really fighting over stupid stuff. And let's take it a step further. You can even be so mad that you get into physical altercations. You get physically riled up with somebody. And if you don't go get physical, you're probably going to be out there driving aggressively or even recklessly. All of these are really endangering yourself and anyone that's around you. And I mean, let's step back one more and let's not forget about what anger really does to you and your physical body. I mean, anger in and of itself can lead to a whole host of stress related problems: headache, abdominal pain, digestion problems, insomnia, increased anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, skin problems like eczema, right? Heart attack, and even stroke. So here's the thing: you can learn to control your anger. However, you just need to use some strategies, right? You got to use the strategies, some of the ones I mentioned above, to help you simmer down. Like I said, go out, Google some more, get the expert help, get another opinion. And if you're in a relationship, here's another thing, right? If you're in a relationship with a hot-tempered person, maybe you both could benefit from these techniques. All right. Hope that helps you out. I will talk to you again tomorrow, and I'll leave you like I always do. Think successfully. Take action. Bye-bye.